My name is Yumiko Kawada. I was born to a family that sells cars. I have one older brother, but he's very obnoxious and causes a lot of trouble. My parents tried their best to tell him off, but he never listened. So everyone had given up on him. From a small age, my brother Koji often bullied me. Koji, stop it!
You're so annoying! I want to play on the swing, so get off! Come on, get off!
Stop it, it's scary! The one that always saved me was our childhood friend Yukio.
Stop it, Ko! Shut it, Yukio! Whoa! I have to go to cram school! I don't have time to play around with you idiots!
He was really horrible, but he was going to take over the family business when he was older. He'd been brought up with a lot of expectations from our parents, and they had spent a lot of money on his education. As for me, sorry, we can't let you go to cram school. Koji has his middle school entrance exams. We had so many regular customers in the past, but recently we haven't been selling a lot, so we don't know if we have enough profits. The company our family ran had been selling cars to the local town hall and local businesses ever since my grandpa's time. It also sold car insurance, so most of its sales were focused on the local area. We've been relying heavily on our regular customers, and were somehow able to continue doing business, but profits had been decreasing year by year. My parents had even talked about shutting the company down themselves. There was a reason why they were planning on letting my brother take over the family business. When he was in elementary school, my brother had said,
Mom, Dad, I'll take over the business, so don't worry. That's why you've been sending me to cram school, right?
But the numbers don't look good.
Better for you to get a normal job. I'll bring the company back to life for you. I'll study loads more, so leave it to me.
My parents and I believed in him, and even though the company was in a tough spot, my parents continued to pay for my brother's cram school. I tried my best without cram school, staying behind at school to ask questions and go over my weak spots with teachers. Of course, I didn't go to any clubs or do sports. To be honest, I found my brother difficult to get on with, but I respected him for his determination to make our parents proud, so I didn't mind that our treatment was so different. After that, my brother progressed to a private middle school well known in our area as an escalator school. The university also within walking distance from our house, so my parents and I thought he would be staying at home, but when he was in his final year of high school, my brother suddenly said,
I was told that if I wanted to study business, I should go here. I want to go to this university.
The university he showed us was in a place that would be difficult to attend from home. My brother had announced that he wanted to live by himself. On top of that, he said he would study hard, so he requested our parents send him $700 a month, excluding the rent. Our family had already been in a tight situation because of the cost of the private school, but
it's just for 4 years, until I take over the business. Do you really want to crush Grandpa's company?
Those words were the deciding factor, and my parents allowed him to go to university. As for me, I did my best to keep expenses to a minimum and chose a high school with cheaper fees. I planned on going to a university with a scholarship. Honestly, there was a world of difference in the way my brother and I were treated. But when I thought about how much responsibility there would be in taking over the family business, I was able to endure it. However, that happened when my brother was in his 4th year of university. Koji, what do you mean you're not going to take over the company?
I was gonna take over, but when I studied in university, I realized that there was no point in taking over a company that's falling apart. I'm so smart.
Don't be an idiot. Mom and Dad were doing their best keeping it running because you said that you were going to take it over. I endured so much because of that.
Yeah, thanks to the money they sent me, I was able to enjoy campus life to the fullest. Most of it disappeared on clothes and drinks, though.
You spent the money they worked so hard to earn on playing around?
You're so rude! I made connections! Thanks to that, I met alumni that introduced me to a great workplace.
Workplace? You've already found a job somewhere?
I'm worth every dime you spent on me, unlike you.
You're the worst.
I'm gonna get a job here, so I'm not coming back home. Even if I took over that crappy company, There's no future for me.
I'm not crappy.
If it's that important to you, why don't you take over? I bet you'll go bankrupt and be stuck in debt for the rest of your life.
My brother blocked my number and didn't even come home after he graduated. After they found out about his betrayal, my parents were overwhelmed with disappointment. Seeing them crying as they apologized to me only made my anger for my brother even stronger. I guess we've got no choice but to close the business after all.
You're right.
Wait! I'll take over the business. What are you talking about? Aren't you frustrated being ridiculed by him like that?
But Yumiko, we made you sacrifice a lot for Koji's education fees. We can't do that to you anymore.
I don't want Grandpa's company to disappear. I don't have an expensive education like Koji, but I won't betray you like he did. I'm going to make him see what he's missed out on. I ignored my parents' objections and decided that I would take over the business. I researched what was necessary to take over and chose to apply to a university that was 2 hours away from home. I studied really hard. Because of the money that was spent on my brother's education, there was no money left to spend on me. So I managed to win a scholarship that was only offered to those who had passed the exam with high scores. Even after I'd begun going to university, I spent the weekdays at my part-time job and studied late into the night. On days off, I helped out a company in order to prepare for when I would take over. However,
we're gonna graduate soon. Are you planning to take over your family's business?
My relationship with Yukio was neither here nor there, and one day he had happened to visit me at the company. About that, I've decided to find work in another company.
Huh? What are you gonna do about this company?
That's just when I was about to explain.
Oh, I'm home for the first time in ages. And I find out that you're gonna betray Mom and Dad too.
Koji!
Koji?
My brother, who hadn't been home in ages, suddenly turned up.
So, you're planning to throw this company away too, huh?
You're wrong. I'm going to train at one of Dad's friends' companies in order to take over the business.
You're just using that as a reason to get Dad to find you another job. I'm not surprised. You couldn't get a proper job without connections anyway. Why would you say that? Yumiko did her best in university, and even graduated top of her year. Who are you? I'm Yukio, we used to play together. Oh yeah, the crybaby! Are you still following Yumiko around? How loyal. I don't care what you say about me, but I can't let you make an idiot of Yumiko when she's worked this hard. She's picking up the pieces you left after you ran away from your promise. Why do I have to be lectured by a stranger like you?
After saying that, my brother left. When I asked my parents why he had come back, they told me they had come back to ask for money. It seems that he had had a habit of overspending since university and was having trouble financially. Just how shameless could he get? Of course my parents didn't lend him anything. Apparently Koji got angry and didn't come back. After that, I got a job in the company my father's friend ran and focused on nothing but work and study. 5 years later, I became the company's ace, and the CEO praised my growth, telling me it was a shame to lose me, that I was ready to take over my family's company. With the CEO, I was able to learn more than the hows and whats to running a business. In part because my parents were unfamiliar with technology, our family's company was shockingly analog. In this day and age, in order to gain trust as a company, we need more net and knowledge. Furthermore, in order to get our numbers back on track, we knew intentively that we wouldn't keep doing the same as we had always done. So even while working, I was talking with the other business owners and trying to find a resolution. Then the first thing I started when I fulfilled my promise was taking over the company was to build a website where our customers can purchase second-hand cars and apply for car insurance. The reason why we had no new customers was because we didn't have a home page to publicize our company and hadn't even put up adverts on our websites. We welcomed customers to trade in their old car whenever they bought a new one. But we only sold the old cars face-to-face at our office, so I hoped that second-hand car sales would improve with the homepage. But our company has always pulled through thanks to the strength we put into our local customers. If we make it so that anyone from across the country can reserve a car online, then we might lose regular customers. Mom, I'm not thinking about making our area larger at all. What do you mean? If anything, I plan to rebuild our company by putting a lot of focus into our local area. My parents only looked more confused, so I got them to bring us the list of our customers. I had begun my main plan. One thing I'd learned from my 5 years of training was that for a small company like ours to win, we needed to focus on our local customers and have thoughtful services that major companies didn't provide. In other words, we needed to be distinct from major corporations. The area where we live is pretty rural, and many people are getting on in age. The customers that had been coming to us regularly were no longer able to, and I thought that we had had a chance if we used that to improve our service. First, I began to send mail to the customers on our list. It included information on cars that were mostly senior-friendly. It also included a service where we would deliver the car if they gave us a call. Thanks to the connections my parents had made, we got a few calls from just one round of mail. I went with my parents to visit the customers and listen to their situations. Just as I thought, most of our customers needed a car, but because of their age, the car they had been using up until now was difficult for them to get on and drive. Even if they wanted to drive, because of the recent news about elderly drivers, their family wouldn't let them. However, for people living in the countryside, a car is an essential item, and instead of driving themselves, they would be driven around by family members. In some families, this had led to arguments. For those customers, I introduced cars that prevented sudden acceleration and relieved them of their worry by showing them how low the accident and collision numbers were. As for the car you haven't been using, we'll buy it from you at a higher price than you'll find elsewhere. If you're unsure about our price, you can have it checked by another company and decide later.
No, I trust you. I've always gone to you for my cars. It saves me having to get somebody to chauffeur me. Thank you.
So we were able to take a car that was still in good condition and had our customer purchase a car that was set up with the latest technology. Of course, there were some customers who were in a state where they should return their license, but were being stubborn. That's when I would get my parents to take over and let them talk to the customer about returning their license without hurting their pride. They made us even more popular, and our customers increased. We would inspect the secondhand cars and find them new owners. We increased our numbers by focusing on senior drivers and also made a name as a company that sold old cars in mint condition. Like this, our secondhand car business also got on pretty well. Then one day,
Yumiko, help us! A man from China bought one of our posters, but I don't know what he's saying.
From China, the properties in the area were relatively cheap, so it was easier for people from abroad to purchase. It seemed that the customer could speak a little English, but when it came to the documents and contracts, there were some words that didn't get through. My father and I were both at a loss. But then...
Are you okay?
Yukio! Yukio just happened to pass by and started speaking fluently in Chinese.
Yumiko, it looks like he wants to buy this car. He has his license and other documents. What do you want me to say?
It was our first time selling to a customer that didn't speak the same language, so we decided on reserving the car for the customer. We had Yukio tell the man that we wanted time to check his documents, so we need him to come back another day. Yukio, you can speak Chinese?
I touched on it in university, and I use it at work.
I heard from Yukio that he had dealt with cars even at work, and was in charge of deals with China. I had already felt that we had hit a limit with senior drivers, so I decided right then, Yukio, won't you work with us? We had been feeling understaffed ever since our sales had increased, so I asked if he was interested. At the moment, I don't know if we can pay you the same as what you're receiving now, but if our business grows, we'll definitely increase it.
That's why I'm here.
Huh? I was surprised by his response and let out a funny noise, but my father...
Oh, well, I already asked him if he would work with us. That's right.
Are you sure? The company you work for at the moment is pretty big, right?
It's big, but it's a family business, so I won't be able to get a better position than I'm in now. If that's the case, I felt that I would be more successful if I gained more experience in your company, which is about to grow.
He said that, but knowing how kind Yukio is, I could tell that he had come to help us, knowing that I was having a hard time. Me too.
I'm looking forward to working with you.
With the addition of Yukio and his sales skills, we were able to increase our market audience, and our company even appeared on TV. We were peerless in our local area and had become well-known nationwide. Everything was going so well, until he messaged us again.
Hey, Yumiko, it's been ages!
What do you want?
I was thinking about taking over the company, just like I promised.
My brother had heard the rumors of our company's growth and was contacting me in an attempt to take the company from me. You must be joking. How hard do you think it was to get this far?
That company was supposed to be mine! I just let you take over for a second. Hand over the ropes!
You're a coward that betrayed us. You've got nerve saying that.
Are you sure you want to talk to me like that? When I'm CEO, I can fire you, you know!
I'm surprised you think they can actually be CEO.
Because I'm the oldest son! Mom and Dad spent a lot of money on me so that I could become CEO!
Don't you remember that they said no when you came to them for money?
That was so I could learn how tough the world is before I become CEO! They've spent a lot of money on me, so I should know. It's called tough love. I guess you wouldn't understand.
My brother seemed very confident, but there was no way my parents would agree, since they had been betrayed by him. So when I put the phone call on speaker...
Don't give me that. You don't know how hard Yumiko has worked for this company in your stead.
First you come to ask us for money, and next you say you want to be CEO? You should be ashamed. You don't have to come home anymore. My brother persisted, but neither of them were interested in what he had to say.
Damn it! You better remember this. I'll make you regret this!
My brother ended the phone call abruptly. I thought that with this, we would be at peace, but he didn't seem to learn his lesson. The next day, he had sent me an unbelievable message, and we were at a loss for words.
I've wrecked your company! Well, it's the company you stole from me!
What is this? The office is a mess.
I won't forgive you, the old man and hag, for making an idiot of me. As thanks, I made it so that you can't work anymore. That's what you get.
Koji, this is really hard to say.
It's too late for apologies. I hope your company is ruined.
It's not our company anymore.
What? What are you talking about? It's the office!
Our company grew a lot, so we've already moved buildings. We're currently renting that space out to another company.
What?
By the way, the CEO of that company is Yukio.
Yukio's the CEO?
Our company is really big now, so we divided it and made Yukio CEO of that child company. You've really messed it up. We've only just put in some new systems. We won't be able to use that office for a while.
It's your own fault! I'm not responsible!
Well, I guess there's a problem of money.
Money? What are you saying?
If you break someone's property, you've got to compensate.
But I'm family!
Well, I guess it's a bit difficult for compensation to be filed for when both parties are family, but like I said, the CEO of that company is Yukio. If he sues you, you're a criminal for breaking and entering. Yukio seems pretty annoyed. He's calling the police right now.
What? Wait, you can't do that!
We can't do that? You're the one that deceived our parents, played with their money, and ultimately betrayed them. And then you decide you want to take the company now that you know it's not in the red anymore? When we say no, you have a tantrum. Mom and Dad are saying that they want to cut ties with you. I can't think of you as an older brother anymore.
Wait, I'm sorry! I just wanted you to know how I was feeling!
What are you, a kid from kindergarten? Even if you have a temper tantrum, it's not cute at all.
Shut up!
We're strangers now, so I don't mind.
I don't have to be CEO. Make me an official. I've been training in other companies too, you know. I swear I'll be useful.
Ever since you started working, you've always had the worst sales. You must be joking.
Huh?
After you called, I did some research. I found out that your profits are terrible. You've used company money illegally, and your subordinates are getting promoted before you. I hear you're hanging on to your job with the skin of your teeth. You came to ask for money, so I guess you have a lot of debt too.
So you do know, as expected of my little sister. You're just as excellent as I am.
If I was the same as you, the family business would have fallen apart by now. Don't ever call me again. My brother rushed to get away from the scene of the crime, but the police arrived just in time. Even during interrogation, my brother had said, I didn't know that the company had moved, and had continued to make excuses.
Even if you didn't know, it's still a crime to break into and destroy company property.
He ended up being told off by an officer. The company he had been working at also uses this as a chance to fire my brother. All he had left was the debt he had been made from playing around, and on top of that, he had to pay for the things he had destroyed at Yukio's company. It was his first crime, so I think he'll be able to avoid being put behind bars. We'll have to work day and night to pay back the debt he owes. In order to prevent him from crying to us for help, we didn't meet him even if he came. And we left a letter saying that we would call the police if he forced his way in. It seems he was pretty terrified the first time he was caught by the police, so I don't think he'll risk that again. After that, our business was going well, but there was a change in mine and Yukio's relationship.
Hey, Yumiko, do you have someone you like?
What's up all of a sudden? Yukio?
Well, if you don't, then I wondered if you would like to...
What?
I'm serious.
Yukio's really good at his job, but he didn't manage to stay until the very end, and ran away with his face bright red. What do I do? He had suddenly confessed to me, but I didn't know how to reply. This might be a problem even more difficult to solve than reviving a company, but it doesn't feel bad.